I was just hoping you could give me some direction, some guidance. A few years ago, I had what I call a spiritual awakening. And after it, it just lasted a little bit. And when it faded, I really had this sense that going back there was inevitable, just not on, any kind of timeline of mine necessarily.
Like you couldn't force it.
Right. I didn't make it happen.
Right.
It actually happened after the first silent retreat I went to with you, during which, by the end of it, I decided that all of this was complete bullshit. And you were crazy, I was crazy, everybody was crazy. And I left, and I was just like, I spent my whole life kind of seeking spiritually and having spiritual experiences. And when I left, I really thought I'd just been delusional forever and probably had needed psychiatric care, and why didn't anybody ever tell me that I was chasing something that wasn't there? So I put it down, and then sort of out of the blue, I had an experience that something moved into me and through me.
Funny.
That was not.
When you kind of gave up, huh?
Yeah, oh, totally.
Even more than gave up.
I really gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, the experience was, I guess, everything I had been hoping for. And I was like, oh, it is real. But I also really, I thought I'd be kind of devastated when it left. And I wasn't. I felt very peaceful about it. And then I realized that if it did come back, perhaps it would come back and stay sometime. And I wouldn't be in control of that either. And that I had this opportunity to show up for my life as it was.
That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really...
to show up for the separation, for the suffering, for all this stuff I'd been, spending the whole time trying to get away from.
Yes.
I had this opportunity to say yes.
Yeah.
And not from the beautiful place of, I know everything's fine, but in the grit of it.
Right.
So I sort of buried it so that I could do that. And I guess, like you said the other day, it kind of being like a seed. I didn't realize it was a seed that I had planted. And I went a few years getting on with really human.
Getting on with living, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, and just being really present for it as it was.
That was important for you.
Yeah. Yeah, to say yes to this. Not this from the other side, but this from this side.
Yep.
So, I really didn't think about it much. It was there and I knew it, but I didn't spend a lot of time trying to get back there or all that. And then one morning I woke up and I was standing in front of my closet and I couldn't figure out what to wear because I didn't know who I was dressing. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Who am I dressing today? I don't know. And then I kind of realized, it was like a call back. It's time.
Yep.
So then I came to another retreat with you, and what happened there? You say this thing about there being a perfume.
Yes.
And that was kind of it for me.
Never really leaves.
No. And it had, when I caught the scent, it was like that thing that I thought I buried, that I actually planted, had kind of blossomed. And so I had this beautiful opening that was very much it was very much this experience of deep yearning, which gave rise to devotion, which gave rise to this ecstatic intimacy, which evoked the face of God again. So I've spent, a year and a half kind of having periods of that opening and really enjoying it. It's a very beautiful, beautiful place to get to be. Though, there's closure too. Anyways, so I came here, and about a day before I got here, I started getting the fear. It was like just like my body. It was like it was getting wrung out of my body, really, because there was no mental concept of what I was terrified of.
Yep, pre-verbal fear.
Yeah. So anyways, I had today. We were doing the meditation, and I was kind of thinking about how much I hate meditation and how much I suck at meditation. And all of a sudden I had this, it was just this voice that was like, yeah, of course you do. And when I looked to see what that voice was, it was like, right, perception was restored. And no longer was there this other, just the one seeing. So I got to be there a little bit, and I would kind of feel myself sort of contracting away from it. And then I would hear a voice that said, relax, and I'd relax and go back. And it was just this absolute clarity of duh, this is me. What,
obvious.
How ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it started to fade, and I, tried to hang on to it. And then, and then, it was just kind of slipping, and I heard sort of some other commands to do, and then I had one of those really dramatic firework sort of things. I've had a Kundalini awakening many years ago, but and a lot of that energy the last couple of days, but this was the most intense that I've experienced. And then after it, the right perception seemed even further away. So my question is, how do I move back towards there? Although back seems like the opposite of what I want to do.
Well, you've already told yourself, actually.
Did I?
Mm-hmm. Relax.
Yeah. So when I think that, when I say that to myself, at first I could, and then it became this, I don't know how to.
Right. Exactly. So just stop there. I don't know how. I don't know how. See, you hit I don't know how, but something's still trying to know how.
Right.
Just drop that's trying to know how and just stick with I don't know how. And when there's I don't know how completely, I don't know how. Oh, I don't know how to let go. I really don't have any idea how to let go. I'll be darned. None whatsoever. And that's the letting go. Just stop trying to succeed.
Okay.
But really look at it, right? I don't know how, because almost always, I don't know how to let go is almost 99.9% of the time is tinged with something that's still trying to know how. Join with completely, absolutely. I don't know how is total surrender itself. I don't know how to let go, but I'm still trying to. No surrender. That's holding on. I don't know how at all. That's the surrender.
Okay.
Right? And underneath it all is what you said when that started to arise before you even got here. That underlying sense of the holding is always a manifestation of fear. Right? That's what it is. Grasping is fear, but only always. Right? And just to see that, oh, it's no more complicated than that. I can't make it more complicated.
Okay.
That's the teaching of, right? When Ramana would say, be still.
Right.
I don't know how to be still, Ramana. I really don't know how to be still. Okay, only don't know how to be still. And as soon as you don't know how to be still, you'll be perfectly still. As long as you're trying to succeed, there's no being still. Right?
Okay.
And just remember this phrase, rest and be taken. Just rest and be taken.
Thank you.
You're welcome.